Second Cup is brought to you by Roswell Park Comprehensive Care Center.
Hi, everyone. Good morning to you. It's 8 o'clock on the start of a Tuesday. Happy Veterans Day. Our background in Epcot here, blue and red.
Epcot.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yes, very patriotic.
As we celebrate our veterans and say thank you to all of those who've done everything they can to protect our freedom, to make sure that we're safe, to make sure that the two of us are able to be up here every single day saying the
Doing
crazy
what we
things
do.
that we do every day.
May I say, too, I am really looking forward to our honor flight presentation
Oh my
tonight.
gosh, yes.
So that's going to be at 5:30.
At 7 o'clock tonight.
I'm sorry, 7 o'clock, and it's a special Voices of the Honor flight. And Febin and Taylor went down. These are all women veterans, all
How cool.
female veterans that went down to Washington, D.C. with honor flight. Oh, see, that's what I was thinking, Friday at 5:30.
Yeah.
I'm like, I read it. Okay, so it's tonight at 7 or Friday at 5:30. And I am so looking forward to this because, you know, sometimes you don't, not sometimes, you don't hear enough about the women who, you know, are serving our country.
Well, and the one woman we heard from earlier this morning had a really poignant story.
So
I
great.
think this is the woman here.
Yes.
She was speaking with Febin.
Uh-huh.
And what she said is that she used to honor the veterans in the 70s during the Vietnam War by carrying caskets.
Yeah.
So that's really heavy. And it's a burden that we shoulder, right? Or that she shoulders continually. But then what she said was that she never had an opportunity to get her dad down here. He was part of the Greatest Generation. Are those his ashes? I mean, yeah. Can you?
So, I believe how Febin worded it, and Jenna, if she's listening, might correct me if I'm wrong, because Febin was telling us last night. So, those aren't ashes; it's sand.
Okay.
And the sand is from Normandy, where
Oh.
her father served.
Right, because he
So-
was in World War II. He was
Yeah.
part of the Greatest Generation. She said.
Amazing.
But
Yes.
what she also said is that she was never able to get her father there to the memorial
So it's
to
like
see
So
his.
that's her way of doing
It's a
it.
way to do it.
Wow.
She brings the sand from Normandy like everywhere she goes, and so that's what she did right there.
It's really a
Amazing.
touching story,
Yeah.
and so we invite you to tune in tonight for that. Tonight at 7 o'clock, right here on
Tonight,
7
7 o'clock, Friday at 5:30. Don't listen to me until I get more of this cup of coffee in me.
But you know, when you consider, I mean, like this is a happy day, right? Like
Sure.
we thank our veterans, we honor our veterans. School is closed today. The difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day is literally night and day. You know, Memorial Day we pay tribute and we honor those lives lost. But here today, you know, and every day we thank our veterans. But like it's those who are also living who we honor. And I think it's an important day that
Yeah.
we just kind of say, oh, I don't know, reflect
Yeah.
and just thank the people who make us America and the greatest country in the world.
Jeff Baker, a veteran.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Cindy saying she has many friends who served. Jeff saying we're welcome for all the discounts and the sales. Yes, and a thank you to everyone, of course. Yes.
Hi, Tim Cox. Denise is here with us. Thank you to my dad, who's a veteran. He is 82 years old, still working and beat cancer.
Wow.
Love that.
Erie County Blotter, happy Veterans Day to all, especially my late father
Yes.
and my amazing son.
Thank you so much. And I want to get to Julie. May today be a very special Veterans Day. We should point out that while so many people are off from school and work, the reality is people are still on the roads.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of trouble with all of the snow falling this morning. There are so many accidents that have already been reported. The roads are slippery. They are snow covered. And, you know, it seems like the worst of it is up on the 290 near the 990.
It did, and it seemed like that was kind of where the snow was falling, and the roads were getting really kind of nasty. Okay, 290 East just has congestion because I was doing that cutting during Good Morning America. I ran up here, and Aaron was saying all the like accidents had been cleared,
Okay.
but we were just seeing. I mean, like, look, you can see a lot of brake lights. See the right hand lane.
I mean, here we are. This is what, November 11th. We went from fall with beautiful leaves to freaking Christmas.
We flipped a switch,
I'm not ready.
but it'll come back because we have rain on the way. For later this week, the snow's going to change to rain, but not before tomorrow. It's going to be messy tomorrow too. I think.
don't love that.
Yep.
So anyway, just be safe as you're heading out there. Della says, my father served Korean War. Rachel, happy Veterans Day, and thank you to all the veterans. Barbara, good morning to you from the Hutchinson Island of Florida. Hutchinson Island.
Hutchinson Island.
Why can't I talk today?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's warm there.
Yes.
Chilly, she says, but chilly to them is warm for us.
Anyway, it's warm there. morning.
Shirley says my uncle was killed in Normandy. So how do you like that? So the sand now there in the memorial forever.
Right.
Noreen, the leaves were frozen in the street. I know.
Danielle, too soon for the snow.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Listen, how about this?
Yes.
You like music?
I love music.
What kind of music do you like?
I like all kinds.
Folks, you chime in the comments here. So recently, I've been really into Demi Lovato.
Uh-huh.
I think she's making a comeback.
Oh.
Jordan is just staring at me blankly like, who's Demi Lovato?
I know who Demi Lovato is, but then again, with the whole generational difference that we have talked about before, I'd expect more people Gen Zer to like who Demi Lovato is, not a millennial as yourself.
I'm a zillennial.
Okay.
Well, I'm a boomer trapped in a Gen Z body, so.
I'm
Fair.
very much a country person, but I love my 90s music.
I know,
Because
you're
it's just, the stuff you grew up with, you kind of just love.
Della says all music.
Yeah,
I do love
me
all
too.
music. How about rock and roll?
Sure.
I want to bring in my friend Greg Hennessy this morning. Hey, Greg. Good
Hi,
morning.
Greg, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
Okay, Greg has a really cool podcast that I think people of a certain age who are here with us, not dating or aging you, Greg, but
I'm a boomer. I'm not afraid.
okay, fine, fair enough. I think people would really enjoy it. I mean, take a look at the wall behind you.
I know,
Elvis, front
I
and
was gonna
center.
say, if I had to guess, I think Greg, maybe an Elvis fan.
All right, Greg, tell us about your podcast. Tell us where we can find it, who you are, what you do. Tell us all about it.
Well, the podcast is called In the Flamingo Lounge with Rockabilly Greg. I'm a rockabilly guy, but I love all genres of music. I spent 11 years on the board of the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame, and I met so many local musicians, music industry professionals, and the stories that I've heard, and the people that we have here. So many people don't realize how many like great American songbook folks we have from Buffalo. Harold Arlen and Jack Gellen and Chauncey Olcott and Ray Evans, who wrote Silver Bells. I mean, we're going to be hearing that ad nauseum until Christmas now.
Yeah.
But I really got into the local music scene, and a couple of years ago, my good buddy Jesse Galante, when we were getting ready for their Musicians of Buffalo show, says, you love and you're so passionate about local music. Why don't you just do a podcast about it? And I said, okay, let's do it. So I have had everyone from 13 years to 92 years old on the podcast, all genres of music. It's not just rockabilly. So I'm having a ball. I do a show once a week. I just started a new series with the BPO. We call it Rockabilly 2, Rock 'em on and off. So every 2 months, every second month on the second Saturday, we have a special guest from the BPO. So it's a lot of fun. I'm having a ball.
That's so cool.
Yeah, musicians are so talented too. You said you had a guest as young as 13?
13. I just had a group. I'm on the board of the Sportsman's Americana Music Foundation, and we sponsored the Borderland Band Camp kids, and they did a show out at Borderland this summer. So I had 4 of the kids from Borderland.
Wow.
And I mean, they're amazing. I hear all the time, kids are always on their phone. They don't know how to talk to each other. No, especially you get kids that are into music. They know how to communicate. They know how to talk. They know how to express themselves. They were awesome. I love talking to the younger ones.
So I met Greg a couple of years ago. I host an event every year, and I love this one event. It's called the CEO Roundtable, hosted by the Buffalo Niagara Sales and Marketing Executives. And every year they bring in some really fascinating CEOs to talk about their business, the community, and kind of how the two intersect. And Greg has served on the board of directors for that organization as well. So when I saw Greg this past October, we were chatting.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've got a podcast now. I'd love to come on and talk about it. And I feel like it's just perfect second cup conversation because there are so many artists that people love that are, that have that Buffalo connection, but also are, historic in a certain way that people remember where they were or how they grew up.
Greg, you mentioned Silver Bells.
Yes.
Okay, tell us that story.
Well, Ray Evans is actually from Salamanca. He was inducted in the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame a bunch of years ago. And he wrote Silver Bells, Buttons and Bows, Que Sera, Sera, a lot of movies. He was really, really super popular in the 40s and the 50s. Buttons and Bows had Bob Hope. And, there's so many different folks like that who, again, are part of that Great American Songbook, which
Right.
those songs just will live forever. I mean, they're
Right.
they're timeless, they're classic, and the ironic thing is people just don't know that there's a Buffalo, Western New York connection to these folks.
And I love
And
that too. Now,
yeah,
every time I hear that this season,
I
that's
know.
what
Yeah.
I'm be thinking about.
What
Yeah.
is the Buffalo connection? He's just from Buffalo?
Salamanca.
Oh,
he's from
Salamanca.
Salamanca. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Western New York. Yeah, and
Cool.
my podcast encompasses Buffalo predominantly, but it's Western New York.
Sure.
Got it.
5 counties of Western New York. I don't go as far as Rochester. I let those guys kind of handle their folks. But
Well, Greg, okay, so there are two people here. We've got Barbara and Julie, both wondering, what is a podcast? So help us understand.
what is a pod? It's basically a radio show. But what I like to do is I call it's more of a collection of stories. What I'm trying to do is capture the stories of our musicians and music industry professionals. So they're going to be there for all time because everyone's got a great story.
Mhm.
And there's so many folks in so many different genres that I really think people need to hear. People need to know they're around. And I always say Buffalo is a lot more than chicken wings, sports, and snow. I mean, we've got such great culture here in Buffalo. And I just love to, talk about folks. And I just have people, they come on, we chat. I tell them, you've got an hour, tell your story in your words. And sometimes I just sit back and go, sounds good. And, sometimes I'll add in my own anecdotes and stories. Some people are, but, and I always I have a standard opening question. I say, did you have an aha moment when you said music's what I want to do? And everybody, even if they say, no, I don't have one, half an hour in, they'll go, yeah, now I remember.
I did. Yeah. Wow.
And
So go ahead, Greg.
I say, or some people, they come and they're like, I'm ready. I've been practicing on what my aha moment question is. So, I've got some people that are some good listeners. So it's fun.
Okay, so dig in here for me. Are you on Spotify? Are you on iTunes, Apple
All,
Music?
all the platforms. I'm on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, iHeart. My own website, as you see here, rockabillygreg.com. Because what I like to do is, as well as have the podcast, I'll put videos up there, links to where you can find these artists, where they're playing, their social media links, website links, a bio if they have one. Just to give, there's so many, especially the younger artists or even the older artists that don't have a website. Some of them don't even have a Facebook page.
Right.
I had 92-year-old Peggy Farrell on, who's a classical jazz vocalist who's been around forever, and she was absolutely amazing. She's like, what am I going to talk about? I got her on, and 45 minutes in, she looked at me and she says, I haven't shut up for 45 minutes.
I love that.
Ed is very familiar with that.
Welcome. Put me on, Greg.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, who do you want to come on?
So there you go. For the people who are asking about what a podcast
Right.
is, how do you access it? If you're not really sure how to even do it on your phone, go to Greg's website.
And
Yeah,
Jordan, pull that
exactly.
site up once again. It's in the Flamingo Lounge. You can go to rockabillygreg.com and then click right on current podcasts. And all you have to do is click a couple of buttons and you're listening.
I love the flamingo with the glasses, Greg.
Yeah, how'd you get that name?
It's cute.
Rockabilly Greg, I started blogging years ago with Rockabilly Greg, and then it just kind of stuck, and I kept it. And I want to give a big shout out. So my good friend Chelsea O'Donnell actually did the illustration of that pink flamingo.
Cool.
And before I had my glasses that I'm wearing now, she actually drew that with those glasses. So it was kind of a premonition. I had
Did it inspire you? Yeah.
and of course Chelsea's local. She's on the radio and doing her own thing, and so promoting local music too. So it's a cool thing. So
Okay, so besides Silver Bells, is there one story that really stands out to you?
well, Elvis in the background here. People don't realize that he played in the Odd in 1957.
Huh.
He wore, the last time he ever wore his gold lame jacket was in the Odd, 1957. And local photographer for the Buffalo News, Bob Smith, Robert L. Smith, was there. Took a very famous photograph. I actually have it upstairs. That he took at that show. He brought his medium format camera that night. Took that picture. It hangs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was used unknowingly by Graceland illegally. They bought a whole bunch of stuff from Colonel Parker. There's a long story that goes with it, but he was able to negotiate with them. And I, at the former company I used to work with, actually printed a poster of that image, and and it was a very special limited edition of that image that I have hanging. And that's kind of that's my one degree of separation with Elvis. So he had a
Isn't that
great
kinda how
photo.
Buffalo is?
He took his two sisters-in-law. They were like, I think, 16, 17 years old at the time, and they're standing on each side of Elvis, and Elvis is in the middle, and they got two big lipstick prints on their cheeks from where they kissed him on his cheeks,
Aw.
grinning ear to ear. So that's one of my favorite stories.
Denise says my mom passed away 26 years ago. She loved Elvis. I have her Elvis plates. Who knew? I mean, there was a Western New York connection in so many different facets of life. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, and one of your former folks in Channel 7, Susan Banks, I met her, and that's how I got involved in the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame. She heard I was an Elvis fan. She says, you need to be on the board of the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame. And that's what started everything for me.
You know what's so funny? So I met Susan Banks once, and here's a funny story about Susan Banks. So Greg, she has that iconic voice, right?
Oh, gosh, yes, yeah.
Okay.
I've heard this story so many
But
times,
I
just so
love
you
it.
know, Greg.
So
I say do the same thing, so I'm with
okay,
you.
I was fangirling.
Yeah.
And I saw Susan Banks in the newsroom one day, and I don't remember why she was here. Maybe it was like for Keith's goodbye or something like that. And I walked up to her and I was like, "Hi, Susan, I'm Ed. It's so nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you." And she looked me dead in the eye and she goes, "I know who you are." And I was like, oh my God, Susan Banks knows who I am.
Right. He said, don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Right, exactly. Oh, I know who you are.
Edward.
And I was like, oh my God, I love you. Peter, good morning. Stevie Nicks mentioned in her show that her top hat was bought in Clarence.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And Jordan is a huge Stevie Nicks fan, Greg.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jordan,
cool,
our
yeah.
producer.
You know, it's interesting. There's a lot of local bands now. Fleetwood Mac cover bands are really becoming very
100%.
popular. There's a lot of them popping up. So
Definitely.
Greg, what was your aha moment that you decided that you wanted to do this? And what was your aha moment when you realized how much you loved music?
my aha moment was the Buddy Holly story with Gary Busey back in the 70s. When that came on, now I grew up in the 70s, so I used to get to watch all those great variety shows, you know, Glenn Campbell and Johnny Cash, and even Hee Haw. I mean, there was never a moment when music wasn't on TV. And when that show came on and he sang True Love Ways, it just got to me. And then after that, there was an Elvis special on home box office where he was in the black leather, you know, doing his thing with the 68 comeback special. And then I'm an MTV baby, so I was around when video killed the radio star, and was able to find Stray Cats, and they're my favorite. And between those three, that's what got me, you know. And then again, kind of jumping forward to Susan with the local music. And like I said, I worked Bobby LaBelle, Jesse Galante, and Billy Sheehan run a show every Christmas called The Musicians of Buffalo. And I was involved with that for like the first 8 years. And I was down here in my lounge with Jesse doing some graphics. I'm a graphic designer by day, and I'm in the sales end of things. But she says, you need to do a podcast on this stuff. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And I never looked back. I had never heard of a podcast. I never listened to one. And I still don't, because I don't want to copy anything. I want to be me. I want to do what I do, and just kind of keep going with my vision for what I think it could be. So.
Well, it's great because we have so much amazing history here. You know, I was on the board with the broadcasters, right? And we did so much work with the Music Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And there are so many great stories. Like the stuff that you shared today is little things that now we're all going to remember.
who
We're going to
knew?
pass those on. Yeah, and it's just such a neat little connection.
I mean, the one Buffalo thing that I knew was obviously Rick James, right?
right.
The Aretha Franklin connection. Vanessa Williams has a connection here, but these are,
Goo Goo Dolls, obviously.
yeah, sure. But
Have you
these
heard
are
of the
all,
Goo Goo Dolls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
believe it or not.
Well-
These are all well-known artists, but like I didn't know anything about like Elvis. I didn't know anything about
Stevie
Right.
Nicks.
Stevie Nicks. Yeah, exactly.
Well, of course, do you know about Zuri Appleby? Zuri Appleby's a young bass player, and she has toured with Nick Jonas, with Adam Lambert, with Janelle Monáe, you name it. She comes back into town every now and again, and I've had her on the podcast. You look her up. She was my 100th episode.
Cool.
Awesome person. Declan Myers, Jeff Myers' son, who was a former music critic for the Buffalo News. He's been touring with SZA and doing some stuff there. Joy Williams is Beyonce's drummer. So, yeah,
So
Yeah.
many.
isn't it crazy?
What about Ed
How about,
Riley's
I was going
son?
to say Ed Riley's son. He
Yeah.
toured with Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
So cool. This is fascinating. I mean, this is just, you've got such a great life, Greg, where you get to talk to the coolest people ever. So again, the website is rockabillygreg.com, and the podcast is called In the Flamingo Lounge.
Yep.
Look for the cute little flamingo with the glasses.
That's hence the pink.
Greg, thank you
Thanks
so much.
for enlightening us a little
Thank you
today,
both.
Greg.
Thank you
Love
both.
that.
This has been fun. Yeah,
I hope you get a
Yeah.
lot of listens out of this.
yeah, me too. Everyone needs to know just our history. That's it. That's
No
fine.
doubt.
I make no money at this too, by the way. This is totally because I love it.
It's a passion project.
Absolutely.
I need one of those.
Yeah.
Thank
All right,
you,
Greg.
Have
All
Have
right.
a great day.
Thanks,
My
guys. Yep,
pleasure.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love stories like this. Like I think they're just the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And also a good comment from Peter as well that I didn't think of until he just said as well. The Riviera Theater always brings in like such good cover bands and also just a bunch of historic acts too, I think as well. So
The Riviera Theater in
Tonawanda.
North Tonawanda.
yeah,
Yeah.
North Tonawanda, yeah.
It's so funny because every time I try to go to Dwyer's for wings, the Riviera
Your
is
blueberry
always
wings.
so good. The Riviera is always having a show, and
bet.
Dwyer's is inevitably packed.
Darn it.
But anyway, Greg is super cool. Listen to his podcast in the Flamingo Lounge.
Yeah, and hopefully we kind of explained what a podcast is.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of find out there's so many ways to check them out.
I love sharing voices like that. I
Yeah.
mean, and that's what the show is all about. I mean, it's about highlighting different things, cool things around Western New York, and sharing the voices who are in those little niches,
Yeah.
niches,
Yeah.
niches, niche. Either or, potato, potato.
Potato, I think, yeah. And
anyway.
it's so cool. And he's got just these cool nuggets of information.
Yeah, who knew?
Things that you wouldn't know unless you'd done the work you did.
The Riviera?
No. I was going back to Peter's comment from earlier, the one that we were talking about with Greg.
Uh-huh.
Where'd it go? The Stevie Nicks hat. Someone said that she
Oh.
actually got it on Hurdle Avenue when she
Oh.
was with Fleetwood Mac back in, I think the 70s stories was. So,
Huh.
but it's the iconic, you two would know it, like Fleetwood Mac hat. the
Yeah.
top hat.
That's so cool. Could you see Ed having a podcast? I have thought about it.
I think
An
you'd be good. I
Edcast.
mean, you'd have a lot to say.
I do.
Could
have a
you
lot to
see
say.
Ed having a podcast without it getting pulled?
By whom?
Good question there. Good question there.
And what would I actually talk about? I mean, like, I've got a lot to
the
talk about.
tea. You just spill the tea.
Well, and that's the
No.
thing. Like,
Jordan, he'll get fired.
I didn't say it has to be done with this station necessarily.
I don't think it could be done with the station.
No.
With their permission,
Well, yeah.
but what would I actually talk about is the question. I have to think about it. Edcast. Yes. Free speech, Jeanette. Yes. I'll have to think about it.
Think about it, Edward. What do you want to talk about here? You want to hit this or this?
Let's talk about the mortgage thing.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of people here probably are homeowners in some capacity or, are of a generation where you might be at the tail end of paying it off.
Okay, so our homeowners out there, or if you've never had a home or owned your own home, you chose, hey, you know what, I'm going to rent. What would you think about a 50-year mortgage?
I have commitment issues as it is. Like, it took me a while to figure out.
So President Trump proposing the concept of, do we do a 50-year mortgage as opposed to your traditional 30-year mortgage? Now, the concept there would be, of course, you would get lower payments per month. But when you look at the back end of it, it's the interest
Right, you're almost doubling,
in many cases.
what you're paying in principal, right? I mean, like,
In interest.
well, right, but like,
Oh, as much as a house would be, yeah, right,
Exactly.
the cost of your home, sure. So what do we think about that? The average homeowner, we were just saying, is 40 years old right now.
which is nuts when you consider what it was back in the day. I mean, and how much more affordable a house was as well.
It's changed a lot over the years, yes.
Okay, so here's what Danielle says. Too much interest. That's insane. Never. Heather says you could always start off with a 50 to get your first home and then refinance. And that's kind of where I was thinking this morning.
Yep.
You know, when you consider that the first home buyer, the median age is 40.
Right. Could that come down to 25?
Exactly.
And then as you're making more money, you could refinance potentially if the rates aren't higher, because you would hate to do that, you know.
Diane says 50 years, holy crap, glad mine is paid off.
Or if you liked the interest rate that you locked in and you start making more money, you just throw more to the principal.
Okay, now I have a question. If you, we used 6%, for instance, this morning. Now, when I first bought my first house, interest rates, I think, were like 3.2.
Yep.
It was much less than what interest rates
Ours was
were
right around
now.
4. Yep.
So is that more appealing? If interest rates were lower and you took out a longer mortgage, would that be something that, I mean, obviously you're still paying the
Sure.
interest, but it wouldn't be nearly as much
Right.
in theory.
So I think it also depends on the kind of person you are. So like if you're a really fiscally sound person, you're like, okay, I'm going to take out this 50-year mortgage, but I am going to put money towards it as if it was a 20-year mortgage. Like let's say as you're making more money over the years, you take out a 50-year mortgage, you get a lower payment, then you're like, okay, I'm okay with the interest rates. I'm just going to throw more money to the principal and knock out buying this house in 25 years, Would it help then? Maybe, but I don't think there are a lot of people that are going to do that.
So my mom says, no way, we went from 30 to 15. Della says, mortgage paid. Rachel, good morning. Mine is almost paid off. I can't wait. And that's what I was saying, right?
Yeah.
I knew this was going to hit a nerve.
Yeah.
Diane says, make an extra payment on your principal. But how do you do that if rates aren't going, if your pay rate isn't going up?
Yeah, I mean, I always try. I always do put extra toward it,
Surely.
but right, you have to like be always thinking.
You have to give up something.
Right, exactly.
Does this make you house poor? And I don't know if that's like the proper expression, but you know what I
It
mean?
is
Like
an expression, though. I mean, house poor is you buy a house, you're throwing all your money toward it, can't do anything else.
right.
You know,
you
it's
can't
a real
fix it
thing.
up necessarily. You
Uh-huh.
can't buy the furniture. Or you can't make it yours.
Come to my house and sit on the floor.
Right. Anita says all you youngins need to think of the fixed income time of life. Right. That's a great point. Also, retirement. Danielle says I think it would just get people buying homes that can't really afford it.
And that's happened before too.
Right. So I wonder, and so Danielle, to your point, does this create a problem like what we saw in 2008? Where anyone was getting a mortgage and people who just couldn't afford it
Right.
then were having their homes foreclosed upon. I don't know. I mean, I guess I see both sides here because really, if you're able to buy a house, that's the American dream, right? I don't know. It'll be interesting. Really, no details or specifics have been offered as part of this. But it's looming. That's for sure.
It's just and I do think you're right that the concept would be you'd have to be buying houses younger because if you bought a house at 40 and you have 50-year mortgage,
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, not many of us are going to make it that far.
Speak for yourself.
I am. No, okay.
Tom Brady's going to clone me. Can you imagine? Jeanette, we've been looking, got more serious recently about buying again, but now I'm questioning if I want to buy a house in New York State. Interesting.
Anita thinks it's another mortgage crisis in the making.
And look at Danielle's comment, taxes go up every year on a home too. Shirley says a lot of us are fortunate to already have homes. Right, and okay, here's my other question. Does this help lower income families create that home ownership that they've often longed for that helps provide then that generational wealth? Is this a tool or is this just kind of like a shark in the water?
Sherry's got a great question too. What's the interest rate in a 50-year mortgage? Is it stay the
question.
same as a 30, or
Right.
does it drop? Like if the 30's at 6%, does it drop to 3? If it's 50, 3.5%.
My mom, though, glad I don't own anymore. She rents.
And you know what? There's something to be said for that too. My dad and I always said, like, I didn't own until I got a lot older. I bought, I don't know, my mid-30s, right? And I would always say to my dad, I feel like I should be buying a house. I feel like I should be buying a house. And he's like, honey, you're not throwing money away if you're renting because think of all the things you're not taking care of.
True.
Like,
Thousands of dollars.
If the roof needs something, it's not your responsibility. If this needs to get done, it's not your responsibility. You know, like you're paying to have somebody else care for that. He's like, I don't think enough people kind of look at it that way too.
Interesting. We got to get the show on the road. Thank you to the veterans.
do.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
And
thank you to Greg. What a
thanks,
fun time
Greg.
having him on the podcast. On our podcast. Not our podcast. Second Cup's not our podcast, but it's so fun.
it's kind of like a podcast. It's a vlog.
What a fun time having you on our vlog.
Have a great day.
Bye, guys.